Well, good morning, everybody. Oh, it's Saturday morning, and we love getting together on Saturday morning. And I know how thrilled you are to be here, and I am thrilled because I know what's coming. I know you're going to love it. This is going to be great. You're going to love it. But, there's probably some of you that are sitting there thinking, well, I'll tell you what, for me to be here on Saturday morning, this better be good. Well, it is. I've got a seed to plant in your mind and in your heart that I'm telling you is going to make a real difference, because every day, this seed that we're planting this morning is going to grow a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and you're going to be stronger and stronger and then strongest in the world by just allowing this seed to grow. And the seed that I want to plant is this one. I choose to rise above it all. That's what it is. I choose to rise above it all. Now, clear your throats. I want you to say it with me. Say it after I do, and say it the way I say it. I choose to rise above it all. Okay. I choose to rise above it all. I choose to rise above it all. Okay, have you been saying it? Now let me tell you something why that's really big. The 98% don't choose to rise above it all. They choose to live under the pressure of it all. They spend every day under the stress of it all. You know what they do? They live under the pressure and the stress to get squashed by it all. And they spend their life trying to survive it all. But not us. Not you. Nope. We choose to rise and thrive. We choose to rise above it all. Now let me ask you a question. If make sure that we get this. How much do we rise above? All. And what's the definition of all? All. That means, as an example, we rise above all fears. We rise above. Now, all of us have fears. I mean, we get that, but we choose to rise above all fears. And when I say all fears, I'm talking about real fears. I mean, some of us have some real, honest to goodness, justified fears. And we're going to rise above all of them. That's not an excuse to not be able to rise above them. We're going to rise above all real fears. And then all of us also have real imagined ones. I'm afraid that this is going to happen. I'm afraid that they're going to do this. I'm afraid that this is going to fall. I'm afraid that, we're going to get hypotheticals. A lot of us live under a mountain of hypotheticals, hypothetical fears. And you know something? The truth is, it doesn't matter whether it's a real fear or a hypothetical fear. It still crushes us when we live underneath them. It still squashes us. It doesn't matter if it happens or it doesn't happen. We still then spent all that time living under those fears. But not starting today. Today, we rise above all fears. Oh, let's take another one. We got a few here. We rise above all. We choose today to rise above all people drainers. The people drainers. Where you just need some Drano. people trainers in our life. You know who they are. You know, when you see them coming, you groan on the inside, but nobody hears you. But you're just like, oh, rats. I hope they don't stop. Oh, they stopped. Oh, no. What drama have they got going on now? Oh, no, we're about to hear it. Oh, brother, what exaggeration are we going to hear? And you know what? By the time they leave, you're absolutely worn out or feeling pretty hopeless. I mean, people trainers can just absolutely drain you, can't they? I mean, they can destroy you. And you know, if there's one thing I'm going to say, I get tired of being pulled down by people trainers. In fact, I'm not going to let it happen anymore. I am tired of being pulled down by, everybody has them, but most of us choose to get dragged down by them. Now, this includes sometimes there's family members sometimes that are people trainers. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes it could be people that you work with, but not in your case. Or people on the news. They're drainers, I'll tell you that. Those news people are drainers. Sometimes it's people in the government. That the government can be a drainer. Well, you name it. You have yours. But today, not today. Today we choose to rise above all people drainers. Here's another one. Today we choose to rise above all shortages. Shortages. No more shortages. We declare no more shortages in our life. So, no more staff shortages. No. No more doctor shortages. Not gonna happen. No more money shortages. Everybody say aye. No more money shortages. We declare no more shortages. I'm getting out of the contest to see who has the most shortages. You know, have you ever been in conversations where somebody says, well, I'll tell you, we're having a problem with, we just can't seem to get enough blah, blah, blahs. And as soon as that person says that they have this shortage, there's somebody else will pop up. Oh, well, you think that's bad? You think that's a bad shortage? No. I'll tell you, we don't have blah, blah, blah. And it's been this long since we've even had this, but it's never been like this before. Oh, well, the next one says, well, I only wish that was my only problem because the taser, I have both of those, plus I've got this. And we get this huge contest of shortages going on in our conversations. And you know what? The 98% focus on their shortages and they surrender to them like they are unconquerable facts. Sometimes I even get the feeling that they enjoy broadcasting them. Have you ever had that feeling? At the Dallas live conference that we just had, we all agreed at that conference to agree with Romans 8:37. And Romans 8:37 says, I am a conqueror. In fact, I am more than a conqueror. I am a healer, and I can change the health of my world. And I can conquer, because I'm a conqueror, I can conquer all challenges that try to get in the way of my God-given purpose. So I no longer live under the pressures and stresses and challenges of my business. No way. Not anymore. I'm rising above them all. They are no longer going to hover over me like a drone. I'm rising above all shortages. All in favor, say aye. So, that's the seed. Today we have decided to rise above it all. Is that right? Is that right? Is that what you've done? You've decided it? You've made that decision. All challenges We rise above them all. All obstacles, and there will be some, but no. I'm rising above them all. We tell all mountains to move. Get out of the way. In other words, here's a good one for all of us. Today we rise above all excuses. I don't guess you have any excuses, but there might be some in the room who have some excuses, but not now. Today we rise above all excuses because we realize that the 98% just don't rise. They surrender to excuses. They are chickens. They cackle and they scratch the ground and they just run cackling. But the 2%, they are eagles. The 2% are eagles, and we are built to soar. Integrity Doctors teams choose to soar with wings like eagles. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31 says this, "They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, run and not grow weary." That's hard to do. Walk and not faint. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, run and not grow weary, walk and not faint. Now you might be asking, even after I say that a couple times, but wait. What does it mean to wait upon the Lord? Okay, well, you know, at a restaurant, we have a waiter. And a waiter serves us what we ordered. So if we choose to wait upon the Lord, we are his waiter. When we choose to wait upon the Lord, in other words, we choose to serve what the Lord has ordered for us to bring to him, for us to do. In other words, that's our God-given purpose. And we are serving that God-given purpose. And serving our purpose renews our strength. Because where there is a great purpose, there is strength for the life and strength for the path. So that's why Isaiah says, "They that wait upon the Lord," or in other words, serves God's purpose, "shall renew their strength." Now, let me just assure you, everybody, it isn't just you. Everybody has stuff that wears them out, that makes them tired. As we always, it's called work for a reason. Yes, there's still stuff that can make you tired, but we also realize everybody has circumstances. Well, if I didn't have this and if I didn't have that, then I wouldn't be tired. Oh, yes, you would. Everybody has circumstances that gives them every reason to quit or to stop. Everybody has circumstances that makes them want to just stay at home. Hang this. This is 100% of us. We all have reasons to be burned out. I'm just amazed at all the people. This one, I'm just burned out. I'm just so tired. We all have reasons to be burned out if we're actually doing something, like working and doing something of value. But you guys, there are two types of people. There are the 98% that live under the pressures of their problems, and they live in their own strength, and they do things their own way. They work alone. They are chickens. They don't soar. They can't soar. They just settle and they scratch around on the ground and lay eggs. That's what they do. Their life is full of laying eggs. They choose to live burned out, to stay where they are on the ground, victims of their circumstances. But then there's the 2%. And that's what we choose today to live in. There's the 2%. What do? Shoot, they do the work, but they renew their strength. They renew their strength and they mount up with wings like eagles, so that they can run and not grow weary, walk and not faint. They choose to soar. So they do. They run and not grow weary. They walk and not faint, because they choose to renew, to soar like eagles soar, and rise above it all. Now those, you guys, and this is an incredible fact, a lot of people don't realize it. Those who do not have and serve an inspiring, awesome, bigger than they are purpose, they are the ones who live their life tired and lifeless. Let me tell you, they're tired all the time. They wake up tired. They go to sleep tired. I can see them at 8 o'clock in the morning and say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Buddy, I'm tired. I'm tired." They wake up tired. They have got a meaningless life, a non-purpose, a purpose that isn't greater and bigger than they are. And here's the fact that I want to give you that's hard for people to understand and realize. A meaningless life is more exhausting to face than one who has this great purpose that has been ordered by God. So that's why we'll start out with this decision. Let's renew our world-changing, God-given purpose. Ready? Clear your throats. Say this after me, like I say it. I am born to heal. I can change the health of my world. And I will do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes, because I believe I was born for this. Good, good, good. Now, to illustrate the importance of having a world-changing purpose like we have, let's look at somebody else. I want you to see somebody else who has the same kind of purpose that we do, a world-changing purpose. I want to introduce you to a guy named Garrett Langley. Now, Garrett Langley has taken on an amazing, inspiring, God-given dream. And it's certainly what the 98% would call an impossible dream. Not us, but they would. I'm sure you've never heard of him before. That's all right, but you will. As we just stated out loud, we have, our I can dream is to change the health of our world by getting the 80% under the powerful health care of chiropractic. That's our I can. Now let me introduce you to Garrett Langley's I can dream. It is just as awesome and inspiring. Are you ready? Here is what he has to say. He says, I can eliminate all crime in America. Wow. Can you believe that? He says, I can eliminate all crime in America. Whoa. I love it. It is as beautiful and inspiring as our I Can dream is. It's just a different field is all. And it's very seldom that we get to see someone else who's doing and living the same type of service and mission as we have. The 98% will laugh at this, believe me. scoff at it. No way. They'll call it impossible, unrealistic. You know, they love that word, unrealistic. Even ridiculous. But here's what he has to say. He is convinced that America can and should be a place where everyone feels safe. And we will. Once we are draped in a vast net of his US-made surveillance technology. His company is called Flock. Kind of weird name or whatever. He says this, I've talked to plenty of activists who think that crime is just the cost of a modern society. But I disagree. I love this guy. I think we can have a crime-free city and still have our civil liberties. We can have it all. Now that's my kind of language, you guys. We can have it all. Here's another dreamer who's like us, with a purpose to serve that will continue on a daily basis to renew his strength. And he will soar with wings like eagles. Langley estimates that his company already solves over 1 million crimes a year with its cameras. And he predicts in less than 10 years that Flock's cameras, airborne and fixed, will eradicate almost all crime in the United States. 10 years. Now get this, you guys. It's not yet profitable. And he has no imminent plans to be profitable. You say, wait, that's no good, that's no good. Wait, what? Langley's company prioritizes growth instead. You know what, I don't know, like what? Profit is secondary to accomplishing purpose. But that's because, look, he understands this that I've tried to tell you, but it's hard to digest. He understands, like we do, that if you serve your purpose, the money will take care of itself. I'm telling you, your purpose will always take care of you more than you ever dreamed or imagined if you just serve your purpose. You don't have to cheat. You don't have to rape people of their money and stuff. No. Langley says turning Flock into a $100 billion business is very much within his reach. Now he says that and he's not profitable yet and has no goal of being profitable. But he says $100 billion is very much within reach. You see, he gets it. Profits come as a byproduct of a business that serves a purpose. But he also goes on to say that that's not the only byproduct. His company thinks that it can not only solve all crime in America, but it can solve traffic problems management. Wouldn't that be good? How many of you ever get in traffic problems? How many of you ever get in traffic jams? How many of you ever get held up in your lane somewhere because of traffic? He can solve traffic problems management and expedite, how much are you gonna like this? Road repairs. This guy is awesome. Expedite road repairs. Langley says this, we've got all these Flock cameras deployed from a criminal perspective, but why would we not then walk down to the Public Works Department and say, stop sending out people to look for potholes. I already have all that data. I can show you where all the potholes are. You don't have to send anybody out. Let's build a better city together. Would you like to hug this guy or what? Is he something? Now, does that sound amazing? Does it sound maybe too good to be true? Is it all a dream street path? with no obstacles and no problems that are going to get in the way? You think this is a dream that has no challenges, so maybe he'll do it? Oh no, you know it has challenges. You know it has problems. You know it has mountains to face. Of course it isn't problemless. In fact, I won't go over some of the problems and obstacles that he has already faced, but I'll let him sum it up in his own words. Now, Langley, who is an obvious eagle, said this: the consequences of building something that actually changes people's lives is that there will be a lot of people that we piss off along the way, because what we are doing actually matters. So, what a great perspective. What a true perspective. And there is no such thing as having a magnificent, world-changing purpose that will change people's lives without an equal amount of challenges and opposition. And so, what is his response, and ours, by the way? We rise above them all. I was hoping you'd remember that one. I mean, that is the seed. We rise above them all because we are more than conquerors. So now, let this be an inspiration to all of us, because we are committed to the same type of mission. I'm proud to be a company of integrity doctors that is a replica of this type of mission and purpose. We are out to change the health of our world, which is just as big of a mountain to climb as eliminating all crime. And the good news is we can change the health of our world. And we too will do whatever it takes. This is our purpose, our mission, and our possible dream. And I am sure that we will both, Garrett and us, see these possible dreams become a reality. Now, let's back to us. What must we do to get the 80% of our country under chiropractic wellness care? Okay, so we know we have a purpose. That's number one of our success principles. And we have a plan. That's number two. That we serve that purpose. And next we must, number three is, love our purpose and plan. Love it. Do you love it, everybody? To get 80% of the country under chiropractic wellness care, we need to love a plan that will get us a lot, as we say on Dumb and Dumber, a lot of new patients. Rats, there's 80% of 300 million people is 240 million people. 240 million people getting chiropractic wellness care? That's a lot. And there's only one way we can get that many, is we need to love whatever it takes to do to join all integrity doctors in getting 240 million new chiropractic wellness patients. I think it's pretty obvious, you guys. We got to step it up. Step it up. We got to love it. The first step to getting lots of new patients is getting even a lot more new leads. Wait, what? What does that mean, new leads? Well, look, you guys. When they come in your office, you call them new patients. But there's one thing that you really need to understand. They really aren't new patients. We just call them that. They are not sold when they walk in the office. They are looking. They are not a patient yet. We should call them new leads because that's what they are. They are just looking. It is your job on the first and second day to convert them from being leads into a true new patient. So let's get this straight. The screening does not sell them. It does get them in the door, but a screening doesn't sell them. The purpose of the screening is to show them that they need to come in and see for themselves if chiropractic is the right thing to do for the sake of their health. They don't know it yet, and if they told them out there it wouldn't work, but they just need to get them in. Now you have a practice representative there on site to make it easy for these prospects to come in and find out if chiropractic will do the trick, and see a doctor and learn more about this natural drug-free solution without having to pay this large sum of money to find out. So that means this, the special first day deal that you offer them, that doesn't sell them either. All that does is remove the barrier of too much money just to check it out. I don't want to pay this much money just to find out if this is any good or not. They want to come in, and if they get a special deal, then it's worth it to come in and see if chiropractic is truly the best solution for their wellness. Now, I understand, you guys, that you know that it is. But that doesn't matter. The problem is they don't know. So you need to let them come in so they can find out in an affordable way. Social media marketing doesn't sell them either. You say, well, if I just do social marketing, then no, it isn't going to sell them that. It will get them in though. All it does is get them into the store. Now, the store is your office. All that does is get them into the store so that they can look. They're just looking. In other words, they're not bad new patients. Now, we've had said that in the past, that when they come in and then we say, well, they just weren't good new patients. Well, they weren't bad new patients because they weren't really patients at all when they came in. They are leads. And these leads will pay. I know they got in for a deal, but they will pay once they are sold. The selling is our job in the office. That's where the selling happens. So another good question is, how do you sell them? They are sold once you take them through the entire first and second day integrity system. That's why it's so critical, and that's why we harp on it so much. Once they go through the entire first and second day integrity system with all of its powerful and always effective patient education, those reports and videos, classes that are masterpieces, that when the leads have seen and heard these reports and these videos, then they will be 100% convinced and ready to be your chiropractic new patient. And voila, we won. And follow through with your recommendation of care will happen. And pay for it, they will. But you gotta sell them with these things, these tools that are placed in your lap. The problem has been we've been wanting marketing things to do what they don't do. It's you that needs to make them new patients and then bring them into your office, place them in your lap. That's what you wanted the marketing things to do. You wanted them to just bring them into your office and place them in your lap already sold. So your job is merely just to treat them because they already love you and they're already sold on you and you're just so great. And it's great to walk into a room for the first time with somebody who already loves you, except it isn't going to happen. But you wanted it to. So no wonder they did not come back. You didn't even try to get them to love you. You just thought that they did. Now here's the problem. They don't know chiropractic. They don't know how to say it. They don't know how to spell it. And they don't know how it works. But they accepted the opportunity to learn about both. But you didn't want to sell them. That wasn't a good plan. Have you ever gone shopping, walked into a store and somebody said, "May I help you?" And what do you say? Just looking. That's exactly what these new leads are doing when they walk into your first and second day. They are just looking. And it's your job to make them good new patients what we place into your lap with your software and your integrity system. You cannot find a new patient activity that will sell the public on chiropractic or you without even coming in. And the reason is because there isn't one. So I've tried to make our theme in 2025, a theme I've tried to have is, it isn't just one thing. It isn't just one thing. We cannot get the 80% by finding or choosing just one thing. Okay, what's the one thing, Keith, what's the one thing we should do this year to get new patients? Well, brother, what a not good question. That's like trying to find a squirt gun that will put out the raging California fires. Have you got a squirt gun that could maybe? No, it takes a lot of squirt guns. It takes a lot of fire hoses. It takes a lot of firemen. It's going to take more than just one thing. So don't ask, which new patient activity should we do? The answer is, we should do all of them a lot. This is why everyone in the office must have the integrity education system mastered. So that when they come in, your job on that first and second day is to sell them. They do not know chiropractic and they do not know you. Now you may ask, well, what if they've been to a chiropractor before? What do you say about them? Then do we skip that? No. The truth is, even if they've been to a chiropractor before, sometimes that's even more of a minus. That's just the honest truth. Because their exposure may have been to all kinds of weirdos and things, all kinds of tangents and high volume dollar stuff and medical stuff that turned them off. And in some cases, the adjustment was just a small sideshow. So you must treat them as a blank canvas. And you are needing to paint the beautiful picture of a true chiropractic and natural wellness that is affordable and is safe so that they will want to buy. And I assure you, when you do this and this system, they will love it. So when I say blank canvas, I mean this. Start from the premise that they don't know a true chiropractic clinic at all. Because if you start from the premise that, well, they do know this already, I don't need to do this. No. Because the truth is, they probably don't. When a new patient walks into your office, what do? You stand up, smile, and treat them as your long-lost brother or sister. You're thrilled to see them, and you help them because you are thrilled to see them. Unlike the 98% when you go to offices, they have their head dug into some computer, and they just glance up at you long enough to direct you to sign in on some sort of electronic sign-in deal. Look, instead, here's what I want you to stand up, smile, treat them like they're your long-lost brother or sister, and you might even find out if they need some help filling it out. This new thing that they need to fill out, this new thing that they need to sign into, this new thing that they need to take, offer to help them. You help them fill out their questionnaire if they need it. Here's incredible idea number 2. That's the first incredible idea. The second one is, you need to actually, after you make them fill out this stuff, read it. You need to actually read it after they go to the time and trouble to fill it out. Well, if it's important enough for them to do it, it's important enough for you to read it. Know what the new lead has already told you before you go in the room with them. All in favor, say aye. Then when you're talking to them, staff and doctor, you can give them the right place promise because you do care about them and you know about them. You know, I'm so glad you came in today. I want you to know that after seeing what you've told us here and filled out for us, and seeing what you're experiencing, if I were you, this is exactly where I would want to be. Yep. And I'll tell you why. We've seen literally hundreds of cases just like yours, and the results are fantastic. And that is the most rewarding thing about, for me, working here. It's the results that we get to see. It's just absolutely great. And you are going to love this doctor. She'll be thorough and honest with you, and if we can fix this for you, the doctor will tell you. If somewhere else would be better for you to go, the doctor will tell you that too. But I assure you, we'll get you taken care of. The good news is you are in the right place at the right time. Now let me tell you something, you guys. You eliminate fear with the right place promise. By the way, I might say, what are some of those fears? Well, the first fear is that they're doing something wrong by coming there. They're worried if they've come to the right place. Am I going to be cheated? Am I going to be ripped off? Am I going to be told something that isn't true? Are they just after my money? That's a fear. It doesn't matter whether you like that fear or not. It's a fear. Another fear they have, is this gonna hurt? I've heard some stories of people getting hurt. Is this going to hurt? I know the truth, but they've heard stories. It's still their fear. Another fear is, I wonder what is causing this pain. Is it just going to go away? I wonder if I'm doing all this, and I'm going all this trouble and expense, and it's just going to go away on its own. Should I just wait? That's what they're wondering. There's the fear of being taken advantage of. Fear of a doctor scaring them or pressuring them into paying an arm and a leg to a doctor who's just working on selling a system to get rich and do as little work as possible. And then, what if it doesn't work? I did all this, I paid all this, and still have the problem, and I still have the debt, or I lost the money. Now you guys, I know that this isn't true with you, but I also know that these are some of the fears. So what should you do? Don't be afraid of touting the tremendous success of the adjustment. Getting patients well naturally, the way that you can, without drugs or gimmicks, it is safe and affordable. Believe me, if any medical doctor had the record of success that you have in your office, they would tout it in a heartbeat. They need to hear you say, you have done the right thing by coming in here today, because they have. So you need to show all the patient education videos and give them all of the reports. Why? Because they don't know chiropractic. And if you don't educate them, who is going to do it? They won't get it from the movies or on television. It's all up to you. Why? So they will follow through and become wellness patients, and that's what we want. Otherwise, they will make their own uneducated decision. Help them out, you guys. You want 80% of your patients becoming wellness patients? Then remember this. Why wouldn't you do this? I don't know. It doesn't cost you a penny to show the videos and give the reports. It's all in your AI Clinic Assist. You have it there. And be sure that you show them the Living Well for Life class that's in your AI Clinic Assist software. It takes no work from the doctor or staff. Well, okay, if you push play or something, but that's it. And look, you also want to do it because when you do the system, all your patient tracking records are done for you by AI Clinic Assist. So not only does it not cause you any work, but it also saves you a lot of work in patient tracking. So all of your recommendations of care are in there now, and so is the acceptance and the follow-through. Well, how great is that, you guys? Come on. It saves you money and it saves you work. And you're not having to buy any reports or paper materials either. Now, I hear doctors justify recommending many things these days besides chiropractic. And they justify it by saying with conviction, well, it's good for the patient. Well, if that's our sincere motivation and criteria, then you have no choice. You must show these videos and give them these reports, because the adjustment and chiropractic wellness care is absolutely, no question, good for the patient. Well, do you ever get tired of giving these reports, showing these videos, giving the right place promise, learning these scripts? Well, let me just say this as calmly as I can. I don't care if you get tired doing it or not. It's critical information for the patient. So let's remember our commitment that we started out this day with. Let me bring the seed back as a close for this class. Today, we have decided to rise above it all. We choose to rise above all challenges. We choose to rise above all obstacles. We choose to rise above all tiredness. We tell all mountains to move, bucko. In other words, today, we rise above all of our excuses. We realize that the 98% just simply don't rise. What they do is they surrender to excuses, but not the 2%, not us at Integrity. The 2% are eagles, and we are built to soar. Integrity doctors choose to soar above it all with wings like eagles. Are you ready to do that? You ready to soar? Ready to do this? No excuses. It's all going to happen. We choose to soar, and that is what renews our strength. And aren't you glad that you came this morning? That's enough to absorb for just a few minutes. So let's take a break and let you absorb this for a bit, and then we'll start back with even greater stuff than you've had right now. But this was good. Thanks for being here. My name's Keith Maule, and I'm with Integrity Doctors, and I'm glad you came.